This is a try and haul video where I shall open up a new Etsy parcel. Comes from the United Kingdom of Great Britain, comes from Cardiff. No? So, that is very special. It is a shed I found, and so we'll see. I don't have enough. She sent an envelope. She sent a collar with it. Premium quality, Morley, made in England. See, it only requires me restart. Look at that. By Jove, a surprise. This is an Aberdeen style. And it fits. It seems quite old. So this is not as old as the shirt. Certain. Because see, if it had been as old as the shed is very old. It would at least have that opening to ease the fastening of the back stud, and also the font is relatively postmodern. The shed is really, and she sent studs. Okay, I get it why. Because I asked her to, again, these are not original studs, but they are old, but not quite as old as the shed. Because I asked if she could lower the price, and I think she wanted to, but the time because I was afraid to miss it, the price was still low, so I actually purchased it, and she probably felt bad because she wanted to lower the price, and she did not, she said that. Thank you for your purchase. This is bound to be one of the best because it is also British and at least up to middle class. And what it is. Oh, yes! It's circa 1896, 1894, 1911 shed. How does one know? Because see the brand, Norton & Son, Broad Street, Hereford. So she typed it on the internet, and the shop Norton & Son, which was upon Broad Street in Hereford, was only open from 1894 until 1911, which does, it is very rare to know a dating like that so precisely. And the styling of the shed corresponds. And the shoulder width, but it seems quite small. But it should, what did she tell me? She said it was alright, it seems short now. But the collar at least, if she's right, I will try it on. And see, it comes with these original studs, which are very special. But these are actually waistcoat studs that she put, or to put at some point. These are not shut studs. And see, the difference is, it has 3 studs. This is very rare after from the 1910s onwards. Gathering in the back, although there's a British shell clearly it has on the branding. And see, the back collar stud, usually with later on sheds, the back collar, it has a stud pocket. Why? Because it's tended, especially even with evening, to starch them less. But in that era, they always weren't starched, so there's no requirement for a stud pocket. And also it proves that it is a factory-made shed, and thus they put a bit less efforts, a bit less of those details. See, there is a gathering in the back, which is uncommon even from the 1910s onwards for British or American sheds. And also it is quite long. Not quite as long as most French sheds, even of the 1920s, but you shall notice much longer than the 1910s or especially 20s British sheds, because again it is much older. It is a 1911 max. probably all the. I'll see the typical calves. I never had a shed with calves quite like this, whereby, because they are meant to be heavily starched and are not lean, and that either it was the fashion to have quite long sleeves and only to show the end of the calf, and thus to show the calf stud. It is a long calf, but the buttonhole is added towards the very end, and it is rounded away like so, as upon the fashion illustrations. And see, somebody in the past saw a button there. Rules take it off. And also typical, they have a reinforcement slit, which is upon video by Heathcliff, Sterling Heathcliff, by, I forgot the girl's name, recreating a shed from that period. So to purchase an original, a British original upon eBay, and it had the same detail, reinforcement, this is a good detail, of the stud button, because also these sheds are meant to be very heavily starched, and so especially when starched with the button, it forces open, and so it is good to have a reinforcement here. So they probably put the money more into things like that for the shed to last longer, rather than extra comfort by having a stud pocket. So they do not have a stud pocket. Also it eases the button. You see, if the collar was very stiff and high, like it was often back then, it could almost be impossible to insert the stud. And to like higher collars then than in the 1910s and 20s, if it was inserted in a stud pocket. So instead, if when being worn, see, it is opened, it has a very stiff and high collar in order to help pushing the stud through the buttonhole of the collar, the removable collar. It helps that one actually has access to that stud and be able to push it with one's fingers. And see, because it's a factory-made shirt, or this shop-made shirt, the sleeves came very long. So originally they probably were up to here, but they had been shortened. So what I was talking about yesterday, they simply hemmed it. They took some cloth. Sometimes they would actually cut and take it in, but now they clearly just hemmed it, so it can still be taken out. So I will use that shirt instead of the 1910s shirt. I will try it on if it fits. Instead of the 1910s shirt, which I perfectly starched, which was really an early 20s shirt for the evening and sunball, I will use that one because this is so rare, and once starched and well, it does not last long. But since I will not wear the evening wear a lot, this will last for a very long time. Also see, it has a much broader bosom dab that one does not find in leather models, and thus a broader pleat gathering in the front, which again is not found later on, especially on British models, which tended to look more modern than the German, Austrian, Hungarian and all French models. See reinforcement there. Again, there will be a lot of strain. I want to try it on. And I love the cloth. It's rather broad cloth because again Britain's colder and for the bosom to be very stiff. And to have that reinforcement like on my 1890s American shirt on the side, this is typical of the period, so it lasts longer. What they would do is to design the shirt not to be all stiff and yet the bosom to be there and the cuffs there. They would iron them wet, and to wait for it to dry and then iron the body so that the body will not be super stiff. That is the only way to do it. So that they will not coat the starch. Just like I did for that sleeve, but because it is white, it will not share the starch residue. It would be a little bit powdery at the beginning, but see, this was probably in the first wear. Now, the other videos we filmed yesterday, this is no longer that much powder, so obviously on the white shirt it will not show. So I will have to remove these. See, the calves are probably 4 layers, and they are not PK, which means it is a very old shirt, and neither is the bosom. But the band collar, which is old, is rather high. Normally it was shorter in that period, but because it is an evening shirt, the newer the fellas begin to wear with a minimum of that height of the collar. So it is better to have a high one because it offers more support to the collar. So inside the collar it says F12, which is probably the pattern number, and there it used to say 15.5, probably it says 5 now.